Hello and welcome to midterm review. So I'm going to go through a few questions, and if you can do these questions, you're definitely going to do well on your midterm. So, pick where you want, your grade to be, and, go for that grade. Okay. So the question says, which of the following is the value of the expression 2x squared plus 1 when x equals negative 2? So there's a couple of ways you can do this. It's basically just substitution. So you take the negative 2 and you replace the x with it. And you can use mental math or you can use your calculator. I'm going to just use mental math and do negative 2 squared is positive 4. 2 times 4 is 8, and 8 plus 1 is 9. But I'm also going to show you this on your calculator. So on the calculator, it's 2x squared plus 1, so you can just go to your y equals and type in 2x squared plus 1, and then go to the table and look for the answer when x is negative 2. So when x is negative 2, the answer is 9. All right, keep in mind that if they give you the answer, you're looking for the input, which would be the x. The output is the y, the input is the x. This can also be written in function notation, which would look like that. All right, next question. The product of the binomial. So basically, I'm going to multiply because product means to multiply. So I'm going to multiply the 3x plus 2 and the 2x subtract 1. So 3x times 2x is 6x squared. 3x times negative 1 is negative 3x. 2 times 2x is positive 4x. And 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. You combine the like terms and you get a trinomial because there's 3 terms. It's called a trinomial. And that matches up with choice 3. You can also use your calculator to check this. So I would think the easiest way is to use your y equals. So I'm going to type the question part first, and that would be 3x plus 2 in parentheses, and then a 2x subtract 1 in parentheses. That's the question. And then the answer that I am choosing is 6x squared plus x subtract 2. So I'm basically asking the calculator if these two things are equal to each other. So if you hit graph, you want to see what happened was it was blue and then it became red. Or you can hit table and you want to look to see that the tables are the same. Because if the tables are the same, the expressions are the same, which means they are equal. Equivalent, equal, can be written equivalently. So those things are equal. And that's a way of checking. The inequality 2x plus 1 is greater than 15 will be true when. So I'm going to do substitution. I'm going to take the 7 and try that first. 2 times 7 is 14. 14 plus 1 is 15. 15 is not greater than 15. They happen to be equal, so that's not good. I'm going to now choose a bigger number because I want the left side to be bigger than 15. So I'm going to choose the 10. "21 is bigger than 15, and that happens to be true. And again, you can use your calculator to check this. Okay, which of the following intervals is equivalent to the statement? Okay, so I'm going to talk about the number line. The number line would have an open circle at the negative 3, and it would have a closed circle or a solid or a filled circle, however you want to, describe it, at the number 9. So the number line would look like that. The open circle is the same as having the curved parentheses, and the closed circle is the same as having the square bracket. So that's going to match up to choice 1. Okay, so this is substitution again. So this is -2 times -3 squared plus 3. Again, you can use mental math or you can use your calculator. So this is going to be -2 times 9, because -3 times -3 is 9. And then that's -18 plus 3, which is -15. And I'll show you again on the calculator. So on the calculator, I'm going to type it into my y sub 1. And where is it? Here it is. -2x squared plus 3. I'm going to go to my table, and I want to find the answer when x is -3. The answer when x is -3. Okay. Which of the following coordinate pairs is not a relationship that is a function? So not a function. So basically, I'm looking for one that has a repeated x with a different y. So none of the x's repeat. -2 repeats with a different y. That would not be a function. Which of the following represents the range? Now, range is the y values. So that means that I'm going from low to high. The low looks like a -4, and the high looks like a 5. So from -4 to 5, there's a closed circle at the 5 and an open circle at the -4. Remember, range is the set of y values. Domain is the set of x values. Given the graph h of x shown below, which of the following intervals shows when h is increasing? So basically, something along that piece, because increasing is going up. From -1 to 4, no. From -3 to 1, yes. You have to know increasing, you have to know decreasing, you have to know stays the same. So it's basically increasing, decreasing, stays the same. Okay, find the rate of change from 9 minutes is here, to 13 minutes, which is here. Rate of change is really just slope. So you could count up and to the right, or you can find points. So like this point at the 9 would be 9 comma 3, and the point at the 13 is 13 comma 7. So my change in y went from 3 to 7, so that's up 4. My change in x went from 9 to 13, so that's also up 4. So 4 over 4, which reduces to 1. Okay, here we go. Which of the following is the equation of the line graph below? So I got to move my face again. Okay, so I'm going to go with a negative slope here, right? Decreasing, so that's a negative slope. So it can't be that, and it can't be that. Now the y-intercept is definitely positive. Both of those has a positive y-intercept. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it has to be that one. And you can double check it with your graphing calculator. I feel like I say that a lot. Okay, now I'm moving myself even higher. Oh, I didn't move myself far enough. Okay, slope. So that's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Change in y over change in x. So 15 minus 5 and 1 minus a minus 3. Okay, so 15 minus 5 and 1 minus a minus 3. I'm going to show you how to input that on the calculator because I feel like a lot of you are still struggling with negative numbers. Okay, so I think the easiest thing for you to do would be to use the fraction. Okay, so you're going to type in the numerator 15 minus 5, just like it is on my paper. And then in your denominator, you're going to type in 1 minus a minus 3. And then just hit enter. So it's 5 over 2. And 5 over 2 is a choice. Okay, now 5 over 2 is the same as 2.5. So if you got 2.5 on your calculator, you might have to go back and look and see what's equal to 2.5. The function f of x is, okay, so those are going to be lines that are horizontal because it's a y equals a constant. So it's not 4 and it's not 1. And then it's going to be a closed circle and a closed circle. So closed, closed, open, closed. So it's got to be 2. Look at the circle. Sometimes that's all you need to look at. So remember, closed, closed, open, closed. Look at the inequality. The inequality represents the domain. Which point is a solution to this system? Now, this is totally calculator, like plug it in, plug it in. So you can just use your calculator. Basically, you're looking for the point that makes it true. Okay, so y equals, and where is the question? 4x subtract 5 and negative 2x add 7. Hit the word graph. My guess is 2 comma 3. Yeah, 2 comma 3. 2, 3, another 3, shared pair. Shared pair. And you can always substitute to check. Okay, graph the function f of x. Okay, so I know the vertex is going to be 2, negative 3, and I will show you on the calculator. So 2, negative 3. Try to be straight or use a ruler because it'll help. Okay, so that's the vertex. So how did I know the vertex? Well, I know the vertex form. It's y equals a x minus h plus k. It's a good thing to memorize because it comes up a lot, this vertex form. It's going to be the same when we do parabolas, so you might want to try to know it. It's also the same for exponentials. So it's kind of a good thing to know. But if you don't know it, it's not a big deal because you have a graphing calculator. So you just go to the graphing calculator. And, if you're not sure where things are, just fool around, play. Almost everything's under math because it's a math class. And then, absolute values, numbers. So it's right there. And you do have to make sure you type it right. And that's honestly like the biggest problem we have is we make typos. I do it too. Okay, so then you just hit the word graph. And there it is. It's also good to always look at the table and then, you can see the vertex. It's sort of like the monkey in the middle. Okay, if you ever played that game. All right, which of the following points lies in the solution set of the system of inequalities? So you're basically looking for something in the double. Something in the double. I think it's going to be 4, so I'm just going to do it. 1, 2, negative 4. Yeah, you're looking for something in the double. Now, because one of the lines is dotted, anything on the dotted line is not good. Solid line is good. So if they had names of points on the solid line, that would have been okay, but they didn't. Jody is supplying his food truck for the week. He buys 32 pounds of pork. 32 pounds of pork. and 50 pounds of chicken for $185. I'm obviously using P for pork and C for chicken. Okay. He realizes he didn't purchase enough of either and returns to buy 8 more pounds of pork and 20 more pounds of chicken for $65.60. All right, read it. Write it. Read it again. 32P, 50C, $185. 8P, 20C, 60. Yep, that's right. Okay. Now, you can have two types of questions when you get something like this. They could say something like, Jody thinks he paid $2 per pound of pork and $4 per pound of chicken. Is he correct? And then you would just take the 2 and the 4 and plug it in and see if it works. So they always ask like two types of questions, like, is this a true statement? Or they ask you to solve it. I'm going to solve it just so that you have that. So I'm going to multiply the bottom equation by a -4. I'm doing that because I'm going to get my p's to cancel. Okay, so I'm just copying the top equation again so that I have them lined up nice and easy. So that's going to be a -32p, a -80c, and time to use my calculator. So -4 times 6560. -4 times 65.6. -262.40. Okay. -262.40. Okay. So now when I add down, the p's cancel. I get -30c equals, and I usually do it in my head, but I don't want to make a mistake on your video, -77.40. So I'm going to divide that by 30, and I'm going to hope it comes out to something good. $2.58. Okay. Chicken is $2.58. I have no idea what the price of chicken is, but it seems like a good deal to me. Okay, so I'm going to take that $2.58. I just want to write it down. And I'm going to plug it in for the chicken. So I have the equation 32p plus 50c equals 185. Okay, so if I take 50 times the 258, that's going to give me $129. And the total was 185. So I'm going to subtract that from the 185. And that's how much money was spent on 32 pounds of pork. So I'm going to divide that by the 32, and I get $1.75. Okay, so pork equals $1.75. That's just substitution. Cool. Solve for x. Yay. Okay, so I'm going to combine the like terms here. That's going to give me a -4x. A little bit of distributive property. And that is going to be a -21, because if you're down 15 and you're down 6 more, you're down 21. I'm going to subtract the 3x because I'm moving my letters to the left, but you could have added the 4x if you so chose. That gives me -7x plus 7 equals -21. Liking that because they're all 7s there. And that gives me -7x equals -28. Divide by -7, divide by -7, and x equals 4. Not so bad. Okay, the set of rational numbers is closed. The set of irrational numbers is not closed. That's just something you got to know. So like rational numbers, like a half plus 3/4 it's going to be a rational number because the set of rational numbers is closed. The square root of 2 plus the square root of 2 is actually going to be irrational. But the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is the whole number 2, which is rational. So you basically have to do it. Pick up the calculator, do it, look at the answer. Okay, if the answer is a fraction, if the answer is a whole number, if the answer is an integer, if the answer is a terminating decimal or a repeating decimal, it's rational. So you got to pick up your calculator and do it. Okay, an expression of the fifth degree. That means the highest power shown is fifth degree, so it can't be 2 and it can't be 3. With a leading coefficient of 7. 7 is the lead dog. Choice 4. Gotta know your vocab. This is not a hard midterm. This is not a hard test. It does have a lot of topics because we do a lot. We work hard. Okay? You gotta show your strengths. You gotta practice. You gotta study. All right, the Celluloid Cinema sold a total of 150 tickets. So the 150 tickets would be either 1 or 3 because the number of tickets plus the number of tickets is not going to equal money. The number of tickets plus the number of tickets is going to equal the number of tickets. A child's ticket is $7.75. So $7.75 for a child's ticket. Gotta read. Got to read. Read it, write it, read it again. Okay? So since I didn't have to write it, I'm going to read it again anyway. So what does 1 say? It says adult tickets plus children's tickets equals 150 tickets. Makes sense. $10.25 per adult ticket. Yep, that's what it says. $7.75 per child ticket. Yep, that's what it says. A total of $1,470. Yep, that's what it says. Read it. Okay, a little bit of polynomial fun. So this is the distributive property. So it's 3x squared minus 3. This is also the distributive property. So it's minus x squared plus 7x minus 10. I know it looks weird, but I wanted the 10 near the negative 3. That's going to give me negative 13. So this is definitely the answer because it's 2x squared plus 7x would come next, minus 13 would come last. The constant is last. That's called standard form. This is a polynomial of 3 terms called a trinomial. Leading coefficient is 2. Power is 2. Linear term is 7x. Linear coefficient is 7. Constant term is negative 13. Vocabulary. It's not hard. That's it. All right, so the midterm. Unfortunately, it's probably going to be on a Friday, which means you're going to be tired. But you want to give it your best. It's 8% of your grade. That's a lot, okay? 2 hours of your life for 8% of your grade for the year. Take it seriously, do the best you can, and make yourself proud.